It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. In this game, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, 6 wins in their last 10 games. They'd like to play even better. Tonight, a chance to add to their win total. And you talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. How about that fan base, guys? Some of the most rabid, supportive fans in the league. That place is loud.
One of the best home court advantages in the league. The bond between the team and the city is pretty impressive. I missed that. I know you missed that at Clutch City, Kenny.
Oh, I miss it, man. It's Thunder Mania. It's like it was Clutch City Mania. They fill that arena. They're loud. They're supportive. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to hear them.
And that's it for now as we send you to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew.
On the road and hungry for a win against a Western Conference rival, the San Antonio Spurs are ready for this one to get started. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Alongside Greg Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. You take a look at the Thunder. These are the games that challenge you. Guys, they will have their work certainly cut out for them, but they believe they can come away with a win.
And there's history, some bad blood between these two teams that makes it all the more interesting.
These are two clubs that know each other well, the strengths, the weaknesses. It's going to be a tactical battle.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. And both these teams have no problem, Steve, pouring in the points. You have to be excited about all the scoring we're about ready to see.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm excited. The first team to 100 in the third quarter is probably going to win this game. These are how these two teams play. They play up and down, and they want to score.
All the fans will enjoy this one.
Yes, they cannot leave their seat because there's some plays that will be made above the rim.
And the Spurs start out with the ball. A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Parker and Green are the guard set, and it's Anderson in at the 3 spot. Now here's Parker. Outside Aldridge. Just 5 on the clock. That shot off the mark. Adams, some nice D. Kicks to Robertson. Wide open. And it comes off the front of the rim. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game, a loss to the Grizzlies of Memphis.
You know, their focus wasn't there in that one. Same with the shot selection.
I've seen worse shooting nights, but this was pretty bad, and it obviously cost them the game.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
Screen by Adams. Adams with the screen on Parker. There's a screen. Westbrook. Rebound San Antonio.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You can see he's frustrated with that one. Knows it's up to him to make that play.
The shot by George, wide open. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Anderson against George. Outside Aldridge. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
That's a bad dude right there. Aldridge taking the hit, shakes it off for the score.
Adams dishes to Westbrook. Cans it from downtown.
There, they get it going. 1 for 4 now. Always feel good to get that first one.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Anderson kicks to Parker. Over Westbrook. Paul George grabs the miss.
Well, this is why you see guys shying away from their mid-range jumper. It's a bit of a lost art.
And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by George. 6 points for Russell Westbrook.
And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
Parker passes to Gasol. It's stolen by Adams. And oh, here we go with George. Look at that.
Nice.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Spurs trail by 3. Green dishes to Aldridge. Parker outside. Aldridge a screen. To halt the run, Parker's shot is off.
That was against good defense. He tried to sneak it in, though. We've seen him do it plenty of times.
Back to Robertson. And the dunk by Robertson.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
Now here's Green. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
How Gasol as skilled of a big man as you'll find in this league, in my opinion. Passing, shooting, handling, you name it.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. We were just talking about Powell's shooting last season. He shot almost 55% from three-point range. How about that?
That's how you fend off Father Time. Keep adding layers to your game.
Both free throws good from Gasol.
As Gasol continues to work on his shooting range, guess what? His free throw percentage has been creeping up as well. Probably not a coincidence.
Now here is George. Coming in off a 10-point game his last outing. For 3, Westbrook. Here's Anthony. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
The length and anticipation of Aldridge, a tough combo to score against.
Green kicks to Anderson. That one no good. And the Thunder going the other way now, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, they were just pounded on the inside, particularly on that backboard. That was a huge disadvantage for them.
No size or real force down there to keep the opposition from getting rebounds and easy putbacks. They have to be more physical and get dirty down there.
Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. Count it. Good.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around it.
The Thunder with the lead. Westbrook with it. Really struggled in the loss against Minnesota. Screen by Adams. Shot off the pick. Count that one. And it's 8 points for Russell Westbrook.
Early in this quarter, he's been aggressive and selective with his shots. Tremendous efficiency.
Westbrook against Parker. Aldridge a screen. Parker passes to Aldridge. And the rebound goes to the Thunder.
Boy, he blew an easy layup, and he is furious with himself.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
And that one misses. And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a two-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
And the second free throw, good. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Here's Westbrook after Pau Gasol's bucket. Here's Anthony. But they'll get another chance. Tries again. It's rebounded by Aldridge. San Antonio trailing here. Green kicks to Parker. Passes it to Anderson. Back to Parker. And Adams sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Anthony. And the Spurs with some changes. Rudy Gay's checked in for Gasol. Ginobili comes in for Danny Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Mills, that's a two-pointer. No good. That would have tied it.
The open mid-range jump shot. He knows he has to hit that one.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. A different look for Oklahoma City. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Felton in for Roberson. The Spurs also with the sub. Laverne, he's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Spurs shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Westbrook. Gay sets the pick for Ginobili. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Oklahoma City has gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Felton against Ginobili. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
Well, this is where he shows both skill and body control along with the attack mindset.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Steven Adams. Hustis comes in for George. And Alex Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Free throw good, Felton. You know, Smitty, most players love to create with the ball in their hands, but you can create off the ball too. Who do you think's the best at moving off the ball right now?
I think the best is Klay Thompson right now. He doesn't need a lot of dribbles to get you 60, Kevin. Other guys, J.J. Redick, Kyle Korver, Dwayne Wade, even Father Time hasn't caught up with Dwayne Wade. He's done a nice job playing without the basketball.
Terrific names you rattle off right there. Here's Ginobili. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. There's the dish to Forbes. Rudy Gay on the wing. Patterson defending. San Antonio again missing.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Patterson, the screen. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Collison kicks to Patterson. Shot clock at 5. The tray. The rebound by the Spurs. Last time they met was in San Antonio.
Yeah, really ratcheted up the pressure in their last matchup, getting steals and just creating havoc defensively.
Their D was just phenomenal in the last game. We'll see if they bring that same intensity again.
Oklahoma City leading by 7. Now here's Felton. He's got 5. Here's the screen. Patterson, the screen, off the screen. And the layup's good off the glass.
The activity level from Patterson is what makes him such an impact on the floor.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And Mills kicks to Laverne. And he can't stop the run as he misses.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Well, every so often a team will have a home game and see their stadium flooded with fans for the away team. Happens when a especially good, popular team is playing a team kind of in a bad part of their schedule, or maybe just in a bad part of their development. Smitty, do players notice when this happens, and does it bother them at all?
Yeah, players notice it. It does bother you. It happened to me when in the Chicago Bulls era. You'll hear people cheering more for Michael Jordan than their own players. It's because people love to see winners. People have their favorite players, and a lot of people right now look at it as they want to come see their favorite player. As a player, you just got to go out, beat Michael Jordan, go out and win, and usually the fans will turn into your favor.
And it goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Felton. Spurs trail by 9. Ginobili dishes to Laverne. Back to Ginobili. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Felton. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota. They set the pick. Laverne with the steal. Ginobili the pass to Forbes. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Now just a 5-point Oklahoma City lead. Pass to Abrinas. Here's Eustace. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Right side, Felton. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. The Thunder have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
One shot, find the lane.
With the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs going against the grain. Most teams going small and shooting threes. Aldridge, a big forward who loves the mid-range.
Clock at 6. Pass to Abrinas. From deep. And Ginobili pulls it down. And with Aldridge in the paint alongside another 7-footer, the Spurs have plenty of length inside.
Yeah, they do. LaMarcus Aldridge with pretty good mobility for a player his height. He's able to move his feet defensively and cover the pick and roll perfectly.
And here now the Thunder after the basket by San Antonio. And oh, here we go. Gaines got it, the fast break chance. And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and 3-point shot attempts so far for the Thunder.
And they've pretty much ignored the corner 3 tonight. It's a useful shot to have. It really forces the D out wide and opens things up in the middle.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
The Spurs, a top 7 offensive team for the last 7 seasons. Their passing and perimeter shooting is what really sets them apart.
And both free throws good for Gay. And the Spurs among the league's best in three-point shooting, but they really don't rely on that as some teams do.
You know, the Spurs can change it up. No, they embrace the mid-range a little bit more than the three-point shot right now. Kind of going against the grain in that way. They take shots other teams avoid, and they make it work for them.
Here's Abrinas. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. It's deflected.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well.
One shot, gentlemen.
Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And when you watch Rudy Gay out there on the court, you see just why he's always been a solid scorer in our league. I mean, any situation, any type of offense, he can find a way to get points, and really one of the more underrated players we have in our league.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Felton. Shot's good by Mills. Mills has got his first basket.
You know, he's not someone who spends a ton of time in the painted area, but Patty Mills looking comfortable on that one.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Spurs out in front as they wrap up the first quarter on a 15-3 run. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation, and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through this Spurs organization.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
I mean, what's interesting for me, first quarter, they're already getting points from their reserves.
Well, this is why you have a scouting department. You want to uncover those role players who can make an impact.
On the court for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Laverne is out there with Rudy Gay, and it's Forbes in at the small forward. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call, Oklahoma City with the foul. Steve, what a treat to see Manu Ginobili in his 40s still doing what he does best.
You know, Pop says he never wants Manu to retire. Said he wants to use him like a bar of soap till there's nothing left. And as a former teammate of his, I don't want to see him go either.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And Smitty, you retired back in what, 2005? Do you still get a chance to play pickup from time to time?
You know, we play pickup, Kevin. Yes, in 2005 I retired. Some guys I get a chance to play with in Atlanta: Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, Charles Oakley, Tony Delk. So we have a great group, other than that we're real old and have gray hair. But now it's got ugly and uglier. We play about 1 or 2 games, and we let our kids pick up the rest.
Smitty, I can see maybe speed and quickness going because of age, but I bet the shot is always still pretty much there, correct?
The shot is still there, and the fouling is going up to another level.
Now here's Felton. The teardrop falls in. Felton has got 7.
The beauty of the teardrop, very difficult to really contest.
And here's Mills. 9 points last game. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one's on Anthony.
The guy who has always had the tools to get to the line more. Gay aggressive that time.
He's shooting free throws, number 4 in 5 here.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
A talented, versatile player who has been on a few teams. Rudy Gay is still going.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Paul George comes in for Houston's. Roberson, he's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Raymond Felton. And both free throws good for Gay.
Another made free throw. He can get on these kinds of rolls. Great focus.
To the paint. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge. Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York. And this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
Two shots.
First one falls for him. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out.
Now, here's Gasol. He has 6. Here's Green. The shot missing. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. Got that one up quick. Anthony's got his second bucket tonight.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
Here's Anderson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
He also was very good distributing the basketball, keeping guys involved and engaged all night.
5 to shoot. Green kicks to Gasol. Shoots over Adams, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Gasol. And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Gasol hits them both. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. George against Anderson. Adams dishes to George. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
Two shots. Last on the first.
That free throw good from George. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him. But, Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
And both free throws good for Paul George. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Knocked away. Here's Parker, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. They get Russell Westbrook.
Popovich has done a great job of developing Tony Parker's entire game, and you're seeing it right now at the free throw line.
And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Two shots.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing, but still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. And we see the game of basketball gaining popularity, Steve, around the globe. Do you see a difference in the number of international players in the league now versus, say, when you came into the league?
You know, Kevin, back then I saw it. It was probably 90-10, 90% of guys from United States and then 10% international. That number right now is starting to grow. It is getting closer and closer to 50-50. And the reason why, scouts now with the technology, you can find a guy all over this globe, and guys are coming over here taking the game serious. I think it's going to come down to wherever you're from. If you're fundamentally sound, you have a chance to make it in the NBA.
And you know, Steve, a credit to current NBA and college coaches for making these summertime pilgrimages overseas to teach the kids in Yugoslavia and Serbia and all over the globe about the game of basketball. I think that has also sped up the development, and that's, again, a reflection of the international player coming to the NBA.
You're totally right. The global games and guys got to get a chance to see. I think it really started with the Dream Team, the original Dream Team. Everybody international are loving this game, and I think the players who listen and go out and work on their game, they have a better chance.
And it's Adams on the follow. Adams has got his first 2 points of the night. Guys, 7 times the lead has changed hands here now.
Yeah, and that number should easily top double figures before it's over.
Parker's shot is off.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Here's Parker. Paul George making his last shot. Gasol kicks to Anderson. Down low, good-looking screen by Gasol. Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession.
And here's a look at some stats for Westbrook. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. 7th in scoring and he's in the top 20 in assists per game. His talent for creating easy buckets for his teammates, such an asset.
And you noted it, his points per game average is unreal right now. He's literally propping up the team's offense, scoring whenever they need him to.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Now here's Parker. Over in the corner, Green. Again, the miss by the Spurs. And now the fast break. Anthony with the ball. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And now a 7-point Thunder lead. San Antonio with the ball. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Anderson passes to Gasol. Will it go? And the basket is good. Gasol's got 4 points this quarter.
High percentage look for Powell. Won't miss many from that distance.
Here's Westbrook. A clear look for George. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 4 assists in the game. Spurs trail by 7. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Parker dishes to Aldridge. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Almost automatic from there. Aldridge using his length to full advantage inside.
Screen by Adams. To the inside. A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. And then to catch and finish all in one motion. Stupendous.
An alley-oop like that, Greg, is so rare you just got to take a second and enjoy it. It's Gasol missing.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
It's stolen by Green. Here's Parker. Lays it up and banks it in.
Sneaking inside, converting the high percentage look. Something Parker does well.
Screen by Adams. Westbrook kicks to Adams. Back to Westbrook. San Antonio with the rebound.
Just hasn't had it tonight, but his teammates are picking up the slack.
Anderson outside. Aldridge inside. Anthony on him. They get the rebound. And count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
The wingspan, the timing, Aldridge devastating on the offensive glass.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
An okay season at the free throw line for him so far, sitting right around 76%.
Patterson, he's checked in for the Thunder. Alex Abrinas comes in for Roberson.
One shot, gentlemen.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from 3.
Here's Abrinas. He has 6. Got a hand on it. Forbes the pass to Aldridge. Can't tie it up as that one misses. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket, and with his size, that turnaround, Jay, is just about unstoppable.
Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. George with the ball.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Now here's Mills. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. The rebound by Patterson. Patterson's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Abrinas. Off target from outside. Spurs trail by 4. Now Mills. Aldridge a screen. Here is Forbes. 6 to shoot. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Especially at that kind of height disadvantage. You're looking to score the ball or at least draw the foul.
For 3, Westbrook. Westbrook missing again. Spurs shooting 38% in the second quarter. Offensively, they look a little bit confused. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. They get Russell Westbrook. And last season, Patty Mills averaging the most assists of his career. In fact, he was the highest efficiency player rated on the Spurs.
You know what? He says becoming more of a leader has helped him grow as a playmaker. He's enjoying his new role.
Shots. Move shots.
That free throw, no good.
And one of the game's best free throw shooters. It's a shame that Patty almost never gets to the line.
For the Thunder, Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. Eustace comes in for George. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. And San Antonio with the change here too. Ginobili's checked in. That one is no good.
And really, as solid as he's been at the line, I had already chalked those points up. Goes to show you, though, don't take anything for granted.
Now, here's Felton. He has 7. "13 feet away. No good off the front iron. San Antonio trailing here. 1:57 left in the second quarter. And here's Mills for 3. Felton with some nice D.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding you.
You know, there's no shame in passing out in that situation. Leave your ego at the door. Fantastic positioning on that offensive board. Then right back up.
Dishes it to Gay. We've got 1:28 left here in the second. And Mills kicks to Gay. And count it from 19 feet away. Gay's got 4 points in the quarter.
High percentage look for mid-range. Rudy quick into the air and accurate from that distance.
Laverne with the steal. Inside, taken away by Felton. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. Rejected by Ginobili. It's Gay with the drive. Misses the layup. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly.
You know, he had a hot start to this game. He's only gotten hotter. We'll see if the defense makes an adjustment.
They set the screen. Ginobili outside. Rejected by Collison. They get it back, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And the foul goes against Oklahoma City.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Move shots.
And the first one drops. Both free throws good from Ginobili. Here's Abrinas. 9 points in the game so far.
2-for-1 territory, but they got to work quick.
This is where the play calling comes in. Let's see what they got.
Patterson, that's good.
Patterson is so active and efficient with his movements inside.
Spurs trail by 5. Mills with it. Down low, it's deflected. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
And how about the reaction time on D there? Almost comes up with the pick.
You know, these are the little plays that can add up when you look over the course of a game.
It's intercepted. Here's Eustace.
Terrific defense by Rudy. Doesn't overcommit to try to make a big play. Just uses his head.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Willing his team to a successful quarter performance, he seemed to stop at nothing to push the momentum. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Here with head coach Billy Donovan. Coach, it's been back and forth in the first half. What's it going to come down to?
Well, obviously it's close. We know we're playing against a great team, so we just got to keep grinding and keep playing.
We'll see how it turns out, Coach. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. The second quarter largely belonged to them as they took charge of the game and jumped out to a 5-point lead at the break. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, their ball movement was phenomenal. Now, they're in good position to win this game, in large in part because of those assists. And this is the thing, Ernie. When you win as a team, you feel better about everything that happens.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
The thing I like is their aggressive approach and getting to the line. You know, when things seem to stagnate on offense, it's sometimes a matter of forcing your will. This team can generate a lot of points and also dictate the pace of the game if they play with that aggressiveness.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. You look at Paul George in this game, guys. He's been everywhere.
And I just love how aggressive he is. Usually tries to work for the best shot that he can.
And that really tests the defense. It's hard to take the right angle on him to contest the shot.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Anthony, and it's Adams in at the 5 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Fires from 14. Offensive rebound. Tries again. And Gasol sends it back.
And for his career among active players, Pau Gasol top 3 in block shots.
And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
One shot, gentlemen.
On the free throw, no good. And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
Just 5 on the clock. Puts one up from 19. It's deflected. The wide open look here for Anthony. Anthony missing again.
You know, coming out of the half, you want to set the tone for the rest of the game. But going 1 for 4 is the wrong way to do it.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Outside for George. Gets the three-pointer to fall. George has got 14 points for the game.
And George just has that extra gear. Well, once he kicks into it, he is nearly impossible to stop.
Green dishes to Parker. Green, the screen. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Over Anthony, and count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
And LaMarcus Aldridge missing a few weeks last season over concerns with the heart flutter, something he dealt with much earlier in his career with the Blazers around his rookie season.
You know, scary, Kevin, but it's great to see him healthy and playing the game he loves. Those kind of challenges make you appreciate life and doing what you love.
Seconds now into the second half. Here's Westbrook. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. 12 points for him.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
George against Parker. Good looking screen by Gasol. Anderson passes to Gasol. Offline with his 3.
Terrible beginning to the second half. Just 1 of 5 so far.
Westbrook. Here's Adams. Rejected by Gasol. Anderson with the ball. George picks him up. Anderson's shot is off.
Can't finish. And defensively, nice job of altering the shot without fouling. Once he's dialed in, helping to dictate the flow of this game.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Parker kicks to Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Green's got his first basket of the night.
Attacking on the interior, I like that attitude.
Screen by Adams. On the wing, George. Over Anderson. That's short off the rim. Spurs trail by 9. Here's Green, and it's blocked. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Parker dishes to Gasol. 5 to shoot. The 11-footer. Another shot.
His lack of consistency with his shot tonight has held him back.
In the corner, it's Westbrook. Takes a 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Westbrook's got 5 points now this quarter.
Yeah, awesome watching Westbrook drain the 3 ball there. He just needs to focus on being a little more efficient from downtown.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game.
I'll tell you, he just hasn't been able to get it done on the offensive end. It's kind of dragged down the team.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Showing no mercy, double-digit lead, and still putting it on him.
Now Anthony, following the three-point attempt by Tony Parker.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
He feeds it to Green. To the middle. Gasol's in the post, covered by Anthony. That's it, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Gasol. To the paint, and it's George finishing it off.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. And a look here at the shot chart for the Thunder.
Well, when you have a whole team that is locked in, this is what your shot chart looks like. They are moving the ball well and taking shots with confidence. When this team comes out and is knocking it down from all over like they are right now, they are one of the toughest in the league to beat.
Full 24-second shot clock. Goes back up. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Parker's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well-timed play. Parker sets up ready to catch and fire, and the pass is on point.
Westbrook with the bucket.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
With this big of a deficit in the score, you think the losing team would be playing harder. Nope, the opposite.
Now here is Aldridge. 10 points for him. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Green. And Adams sends it back. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. For the Thunder, Patterson, he's checked in for Anthony. Eustace comes in for George. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Then for the Spurs, Rudy Gay's checked in for Aldridge. And it's Ginobili in for Green. So it's the Spurs now. They trail by 14. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
You know, Kevin, it's easy to forget, but Greg Popovich was almost fired by the Spurs back in '99. Rough start that year, under 500. The players caught wind that if they didn't win the next game in Houston, Pop would get the X.
Now here's Felton. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Here's Adams. Rebound San Antonio. Anderson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Here's Gay. The shot misses. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. And amazing to think about an all-time great like Popovich being on the hot seat. His players went to the mat for him, though, didn't they?
Some huge performances by Tim Duncan, among others. They really came out to support Pop. The Spurs finished that season on a tear, going on to win the franchise first NBA title.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, forcing defenders to come out and guard them, which could open up driving lanes if they want to take advantage of that.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And this is what you got to do. I mean, if it ain't working, call timeout, try to figure out what you can do to fix the problem.
You know, also, it's just a chance to take a breath, regroup, get your mind set, and come back out fresh.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Collison comes in for Steven Adams, and Alex Abrinas subbed in for Roberson. Laverne, he's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Tony Parker.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Mills, following the score by Oklahoma City. And stolen by Felton. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Abrinas. Laverne grabs the miss. Laverne's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Ginobili misses, and the dry spell continues. Oklahoma City leading by 19 points. Here's Eustace, looking for his first basket still in this one. Abrinas kicks to Felton. There's the screen. Just 4 to shoot. Mills with the steal. Here's Ginobili. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Ginobili's got 8 points.
And you have to like the location of this pass. Gives it to him where he can do something with it.
Patterson against Gay. Patterson passes to Abrinas. Patterson a screen on Ginobili. A floater. Anderson with the block. And now the fast break Anderson with the ball. And it's blocked.
Just a great job of timing on the block from Patterson.
Here's Eustace, covered by Mills. Eustace can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 17. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Oklahoma City's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. They get it back. Collison dishes to Felton. Patterson, the screen. Abrinas kicks to Eustace. Back to Abrinas. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Second chance shot. And there's the nice layup by Collison. Collison's got his second basket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Here's Anderson. Anderson can't get that one to fall. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Spurs making a switch here. Forbes checked in. Outside, Felton. Patterson, the screen. The floater. Rebound, San Antonio. Laverne's got 8 rebounds in this game. Ginobili kicks to Gay. And it's blocked.
I mean, he's struggling, hitting a low percentage of his shots this quarter.
Here's Eustace. Tipped away. Collison the pass to Abrinas. Felton dishes to Patterson. Patterson, the screen. Here's Abrinas. He's covered by Ginobili. 5 on the clock. Goes back up. Abrinas' shot is off.
It's been a frustrating quarter for him shooting the basketball. He just has to make sure he's taking good shots.
That's good from Rudy Gay. And so Gay nails both of them. Oklahoma City leading by 17. Felton kicks to Patterson. Collison up top, defended by Laverne. Here's Patterson. Gay with the block.
A pretty good defender. Gay using that 7'3" wingspan well. Get that shot out of here.
.131 left here in the third quarter. 4 on the clock. Here's Patterson. And a miss there on the triple. Spurs trail by 17. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him. And he gets the job done at both ends of the floor. And that's another fast break bucket. And this is the pace, though, guys, that's been working for him.
They are winning the battle in transition. Look for them to keep pushing the tempo.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Free throw good. Mills.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. 58 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's the screen. Abrinas kicks to Patterson. 8 feet away. San Antonio with the rebound. Laverne's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Now here's Mills. Back to Laverne. Mills dishes to Forbes. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Here's Abrinas. The 10-footer finds the target. Abrinas has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Perfect vision. Mills getting quicker these days at spotting the open man.
Here's Felton, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. The Thunder have gone 6 of 9 at the line.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls, and the Spurs making a change here. Raymond Felton hits them both. Up in time. That shot missing. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Thunder lead by 19. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
Nobody holds the ball, not even 1001. You catch it, it's a shot, it's a drive or pass, whatever you got.
Specific instructions from Greg Popovich. If you don't have a clean look, don't have an open lane, move the ball.
Yeah, and the key is fast decision making, and that takes great recognition from all 5 guys in terms of communication. That's really what we call chemistry.
Oh!
Yes! Yes! Quick lick from Patterson makes finishing plays off with a dunk look easy.
Mills can't hit.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
Here's Aldridge, and he banks in the layup.
Great concentration by Aldridge. Lots of heat on him in there. Doesn't matter.
And here's Westbrook. To the inside. Patterson, that's good. And the Thunder lead by 21.
I love the adjustments he's made here in the second half, getting the looks he wants now and shooting a much higher percentage.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Collison. Anthony comes in for Patrick Patterson. And it's Andre Robertson in for Alex Abrinas. From deep, George. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight. A hot 8 for 11 shooting so far. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Parker outside. And across the NBA, we've seen players taking a vocal stance on various social issues. Smitty, do you think that's pretty important?
Very important, and I think this generation has done it better than my generation. Obviously speaking out, but yes, they're using their social media tools to come out and talk about important issues. And the one thing you just want to bring light to these issues, and hopefully a lot of people, the more light you bring, the more solutions I think will come about.
Well said.
Coming down the stretch here, holding the lead, you like him to be more efficient offensively.
The shot's good from Forbes.
He's done his job tonight scoring the basketball, but they've still been outplayed overall.
The Thunder leading by 22. Anthony with the screen on Parker. Westbrook passes to Adams. Here's Anthony. Tries again. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, how about the body control on that one? Narrowly misses getting the deuce.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Anthony. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Well, the NBA has taken great strides to ensure a competitive balance, Steve, over the past decades, but they have a long way to go to achieve complete parity. I don't know that it can ever be done. How do you feel about the current competitive balance of the league right now?
I think it's good, but Kevin, you're totally right. You can't get complete parity. You're going to have injuries, and I think when you have injuries, it changes the whole dynamic of these teams. So far, so good for me. I think there's a lot of balance. Good teams are good for a while, and then it always shifts and changes. I think we're in good hands right now.
He gets it in there.
The veteran eyes see all. Frenchie with the tremendous look to make that play happen.
Parker against Westbrook. And he overshot that one, missing.
No one near him. That's one he's got to hit. One he usually hits.
Parker kicks to Forbes. He dishes it to Aldridge. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Getting there up in age. We know Tony Parker was the Spurs' top scorer for half a decade from 2011 on. Their offense was built around his slashing ability.
And the first one drops. And guard Tony Parker, now 35 years of age, bound one day for the Hall of Fame. Last season, the lowest minutes average of his career, around 25 minutes a game.
Yeah, his game has always been based on quickness. He's lost a step, and it's been challenging. But he studied John Stockton, Jason Kidd, and Nash to see how they remained effective.
And he makes both free throws. And with the business of basketball booming, most players are afforded a pretty lavish lifestyle. There's no doubt, and not only the NBA, but in all sports, certainly a blessing. But Smitty, are there downsides to all that notoriety, all that money, all that lavishness?
Yeah, it is, Kevin. I think the downside is, one, you can't live that lifestyle if it's lavish for the rest of your life. And I think second, it takes away. You are a public figure right now. You have to understand that. And that's the downside. Being able to go out with your family, being able to go out to a restaurant, you got to understand. Yes, there's going to be fans everywhere, and it takes away from that. So I think that's the 2 things for me is guys got to understand that lifestyle doesn't last. And I think also, personally, it takes away from what you can do out in public.
And the first one at the line is good. And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, he's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
Spurs have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Shoots from 12. That shot is off. Good D by Westbrook. And George kicks to Anthony. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
And that's the look this offense is designed to produce.
Always frustrating when you do everything right, yet just can't complete the play.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Oklahoma City leading by 20. Westbrook kicks to George. Adams against Gasol. To the right side. Screen by Adams. Jumper off the screen from 11 feet away. Again, the miss by Anthony. Spurs trail by 20. Here's Green. Got it. Good job in the low post.
And after a scoreless first half, you're starting to see signs of life here in the second.
They set the pick. Westbrook dishes to Anthony. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Good on the second free throw. Now Green. He kicks it to Gasol. Anderson passes to Aldridge. Great D that time from Westbrook. The Thunder leading by 19. From 17 feet out. And Anthony with the basket on the assist from Robertson. 16 points for Carmelo Anthony. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Lets it go with a 3. Hits it from 3-point range.
Even though he's still more of a long 2-point shooter, Tony's increased his range over the years.
Parker against Westbrook. Over Parker. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Well, Steve, with the rise of NBA message boards and increased coverage from beat writers, NBA players have plenty of opportunity to read up on opinions of what people are saying about that player. Is this something that is impossible to avoid? And do some players read fan opinions about themselves? Are they reading these critiques?
Yeah, I think they are. Some players read in too much. Fans have a voice, but you don't have to read the good or the bad. But going back to the beat writers, I think a lot of times a beat writer is one of those guys that you see every day. And you're looking to challenge him when he writes something bad, and also you want to pat him on the back when he writes something good. But I think you got to look at the beat writer and understand he's doing his job. You got to kind of separate that. But a lot of times when there's a beat writer interact with a player, a lot of times it's bad, especially if the beat writer has written something negative toward the player. I wish they can separate those guys, and also the players can separate the beat writers from fans.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Westbrook kicks to George. Over Anderson. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. George has got 25 points. Spurs have gone through the fourth quarter shooting 50%, 7 of 14. Parker dishes to Green. Aldridge inside. Anthony on him. Green, the pass to Aldridge. Over Anthony. And the Spurs scoring again.
In the zone, boy, Aldridge making it look easy.
The Thunder leading by 20. Westbrook with it.
Is it any surprise that he's been hitting everything out there? You want the ball in his hands as much as possible.
Aldridge with a screen on George. It's Anderson with the drive. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor.
Excellent play call there. The defense was not prepared for the pick, and as a result, they gave up the wide open look.
Unloads from 13. And it's Gasol with the rebound. Spurs trail by 20. Now here's Anderson. George with the defensive effort. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Thunder shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. Here's Roberson, guarded by Green. Westbrook against Parker. And it's Westbrook missing.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
Well, Steve, it's something that everyone has a different opinion on. How do you feel about the current amount of years a player has to play in college before they enter the NBA draft?
Well, Kevin, I look at it this way. I like the notion that people have been throwing around that you're able to come out of high school and go to the NBA. But if you choose to go to college, you must play 2 years. So I'm leaning toward and researching and looking at that. I think I'm on board with that because there are some guys should have the opportunity straight out of high school, and there are some guys I think need college. So I think if they can balance that out, and I think that's the way I would be leaning.
I like that perspective. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Oklahoma City leading by 19. The 3 from George. Sinks the three-pointer. George has got 12 now in this quarter.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Well, this is what every coach emphasizes. Keep your head up. Be willing to make the extra pass.
Westbrook kicks to George. A rebound by Gasol. Feeds it to Green. The Spurs working the ball around now. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. Oklahoma City's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the 4th quarter. Parker against Westbrook. The pass to Adams. To the inside. Anthony. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
San Antonio calls timeout. Well, you always hear about a player working extra hard in the offseason when they're approaching free agency, or how much truth is there to the idea, Steve, of a player doing more in a contract year, trying harder?
Well, you hear it. I mean, you're here teammates. You're here guys, competitors. You hear us analysts saying, you know when there's a contract year for a lot of guys, and you look at a guy putting in a little bit more effort. I think the guy that you respect the most is when they play the same way all the time, whether it's a contract year or the first year. But a lot of guys do ramp it up and make more shots when it's a contract year.
But that's human nature, don't you think? I mean, if you know there's a prize at the end, the harder you work. If there's a big test at the end of the week, you study harder. I mean, I would just think that's just human nature.
It is, and I think for instance, the teams and general managers, you have to do your homework to understand the type of player that you're paying for a long time.
Parker drives in. Good D by Westbrook. The Thunder leading by 22. Lob pass to George, and George with the stuff.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Parker kicks to Gasol. Now the feed to Anderson. Lets it go from the wing, and the shot falls short this time. Oklahoma City shooting it well here in the 4th quarter, 50%. Adams dishes to Robertson. Outside Westbrook. Screen by Adams. Westbrook against Parker. Shot clock at 6. And it's Anthony again missing. And San Antonio shooting struggles apparent. 37% from the field. It's stolen by Anthony. There's a minute 34 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Roberson, guarded by Green. Roberson the pass to Westbrook. Clock at 6. Shoots it up. Kicks it to Roberson. Adams outside. Screen by Adams, and they call an illegal screen here. And Smitty, this year the NBA choosing to start the season a bit earlier to cut down on the back-to-back games during the year. Do you think the NBA should spread the schedule out even more? Are you happy the way they have at least gone about this season?
I think the NBA, Adam Silver and those guys have done a fantastic job. I love how they give the guys basically a week after All-Star game. They're starting a little bit early to cut down the back-to-backs. Either way, if you can find ways to help the recovery time is great. But I think right now, the league and the games and the scheduling, they're in good hands right now.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That's good from Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay hits them both. 1:02 left in the game. Oklahoma City leading by 22.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Thunder.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still, 2 more to go in the season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Paul George.
You know, as the game tonight evolved, he really put the team on his back. He was aggressive, effective, and the defense, they weren't able to adjust.
The offensive rebound, Laverne. That misses off the backboard.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Carmelo. The team has had a nice run of late here. What do you think's been the difference?
We're just feeling a little bit more confident than we have in the past. Just taking it one day at a time. Something to click. And we're doing our job right now. We're trusting one another. We're believing in one another on both ends of the court. And it's working for us.
Chemistry's really showing up nicely now, Melo. Thanks again. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.